Good morning, everyone. So I want to talk to you today about accountability and a bit like responsibility, but self-discipline. Because it kind of came to my head the other day when I was at a speed awareness course. Yeah, I'm a bad person, drive like an idiot. Now I got pinged for doing nearly 71 on a motorway. Obviously, it's all smart motorway system, and we're not going to get into that. Anyway, so at the end of this course, all kind of comes to a head, and the teacher, the lecturer, whatever he is, was just like, right, so how are you going to stop yourself speeding in future? And everyone just started giving these ridiculously bizarre and abstract like answers. They were like, oh, we'll get a black box installed in our car so our premiums will go up if we speed. Or someone was just like, I'll install like a buzzer so when I speed it starts to ring. And just some bizarre things like that. And I kind of put my hand up and I was like, or we could all just stop being childish, just practice a little bit of self-discipline, just abide by the speed limit and the law. I was like, it's probably a lot easier and a lot less technologically fucking draining than having to install all these bits into our car. And the guy just started laughing and kind of gave me a little round of applause. And it all kind of come to a head, and he's like, well, what made you say that? I was like, realistically, I see this a lot with sort of my clients and stuff, is that when it comes to, say, nutrition, what you do is, if you've got kids, if you've got pets, anything like this, you always give them really strict rules on when they can eat and what they can eat. So I remember growing up, I was only ever allowed, say, like 1 packet of crisps a day, 2 biscuits from the biscuit tin, all things like this. Don't get me wrong, I used to try and nick them all the time. And thinking about it now, how my parents never used to keep a tally, but in my head they knew. And obviously like unlimited fruit and things like that. But as you get, and then with your pets again, the same. Your pets have specific times that they can eat. I know my dogs at home, they're only allowed to eat, say, morning and dinner, and parents obviously give them like little snacks and things as the day goes on. But realistically, you impose strict feeding times on them and strict guidelines and rules as to when and what they can eat. But somewhere along the line, as you get older, you stop imposing those same rules on yourself. And then as a result, we all wonder why we start putting weight on at certain times of the year or just throughout the year. So what I'm to do is to help you with your nutrition. Think about where you slip up mostly. Are you like a snacker? Are you like a grazer? If so, things like specific eating times, eating windows can be perfect for you. That's why things like intermittent fasting work so well for a lot of people. Alternate day fasting, again, the same. So a few little ways of eating, we'll say, that I'd suggest that you start trying to implement are the intermittent fasting, the lean gains approach. That is the most popular at the minute. So you have 16 hours a day where you fast. So all you can have in that time is water, green tea, basically anything like calorie free, like black coffee, obviously no sugar or milk, hence why it's black coffee. You can have like a sweetener in there. Do you know what I mean? Desperate time, desperate measures. You can have like a Diet Coke, something like that, like a calorie free Monster, something like an energy drink. But realistically, what you want to just try and do is minimize, just cut out all calories, hence the word fast. And then you can have an 8-hour feeding window. So in that feeding window, just eat. What you want to make sure of is when you're getting used to this is you're not over consuming in that calorie window. So what you tend to find is some people this doesn't work well for, will find that when they get to that point in time, they just end up overeating, over consuming, and as a result will put weight on. So similar to intermittent fasting is alternate day fasting. This has been popularized by, say, like the 5-2 diet. So you basically get all your dieting done in 2 days. So 2 days a week, you eat like 500 calories, and the rest of the week, I'd say, you eat normally. So you're gonna have 2 hard days But again, practice some self-discipline. Tell yourself, you're getting all that hard work done on those days. Life isn't all meant to be like plain sailing, or as as a Rocky saying goes, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Do you know what I mean? If you want to get in good shape, you're gonna have to do things and make sacrifices. It's one of those things. If you're not in a position now of where you want to be, so if you don't have the body that you like, something's got to change. I don't mean that sounds very, very dramatic. But there's that saying, the epitome of insanity is doing the same thing every day and expecting different results. And that's very true. So if what you're doing isn't working, change something. Just impose a few standard eating rules. Anyway, so you've got alternate day fasting. So that's, again, like I said, you have your 2 days, you eat 500 calories, get all your dieting done in those 2 days. And then the rest of the days, you just crack on, just eat normally. Another one of those is just your standard 3 meals. So this works well for us Westerners because we kind of roll off that breakfast, lunch, dinner scenario. So basically you have your breakfast, lunch, dinner, just don't snack. Again, when you're having one of those moments like, oh, I really want to eat, really want to pick, just say no. Like, it's not difficult. When you're at work and someone brings cupcakes or a birthday cake or something into the office, obviously if it's someone's birthday, have a piece of cake. Like, unless that's going to really throw you off, or if you're one of those people where that little bit of cake is going to lead to like a binge because you're being overly restrictive, but don't restrict in the diet. Just IAFYM, man, just make it fit into your macros. One little bit of cake is not going to throw off all your hard work. Do you know what I mean? Unless it is the whole cake. Just a standard little slice. Do you know what I mean? Who cares? But you don't want to alienate yourself and be that person in the office going, no, I can't eat that because, it's going to fuck my gains. Just have a slice of cake, you'll be alright. So yeah, your 3 meals a day and just don't snack in between. Again, practice self-discipline. Simple as that. The only time I'll say you can have a snack is if you, when you go to bed, in the evening. If you're really hungry or something like that, then, do you know what I mean, have a snack. To round all this in together, track your calories. I'm not saying year round, every single day, but for a certain period of time, I'd say maybe a month, 2 weeks to a month. If you've never tracked your calories, download MyFitnessPal and track your calories for a little bit because it gives you an idea of your trend, your sort of habits when it comes to eating. So if you consume certain foods at certain times, you can see where your highest calorie intakes are and you can tidy things up. When you've got quantitative data, that's hard. When you've got quantitative data, it gives you an area or it gives you an element, say, of accountability, and not only accountability, but it gives you an element of it gives you an aspect that you can adjust when things aren't going right. So if you're not losing weight, and don't get me wrong, don't track and expect to lose weight every week. Don't think you're going to just go, boom, your weight's just going to plummet like a pound a week. Mine never does that. My weight plateaus and I'll drop a couple of pounds. Plateau, drop. Everyone's different. Everyone is unique. You might just have your weight fall down. Obviously, it depends on where you are now, where you want to go to. But anyway, so track your calories, even if just for a little bit of time, just to get an idea and understanding of what is in the foods that you eat, what sort of macronutrients, what the sort of macronutrient split and breakdown is of the foods that you typically eat, and also the calories involved in those foods as well. Secondly, just to make the whole process easier, just go onto Google and just type in macronutrients, calories, and just increase your knowledge on it, because the easiest way to understand something is just have a quick look at it. I'm not saying sit there and become a nutritionist or dietitian and just go balls deep in loads of books, but just find out what they are. How does your body metabolize fats? How does your body metabolize carbs? Why does your body need protein? What burns calories? Do you burn calories just sitting down? Yeah, basal metabolic rate. So just increase your knowledge of this sort of stuff. I'm going to start, thinking about it. I'll do a video on that, basically summarizing kind of bits and pointers that I've just gone over there. But yeah, so just to wind all this in, track your calories for a little bit. Impose some feeding restrictions on yourself. Not only food, obviously drinks are the same. When you have those like bad boy latte splurges at like Costa or Nero's, especially this time of year, coming into winter, they get all the really salted caramel latte, like chocolado bad boys, and strong, I know, but they're like 1,000 calories. It's ridiculous. So track your calories, impose some feeding restrictions, and yeah, and remember that if you want to change the way you look, you're gonna, and remember, if you're not happy with where you are right now, then just look to change something. It doesn't have to be like a monumental change. And this is another thing. Don't just go from 0 to hero. Just make a couple of little changes. So just tidy up your diet. Impose a few little feeding restrictions. Don't just stick to eating lettuce, broccoli and chicken. Like all that bro science is gone. And obviously exercise as well makes the whole thing a lot easier. Will give you a much better physique. We'll cover that in a different video as well. Anyway, so there are my tips. Hope it's helped. Start imposing those things. Change your life. We've got 7 weeks till Christmas. Let's do this. Let's get shredded for Santa.